and I would open the trunk and climb in and then pull it shut behind me and crawl over all my seats to get out. Open my trunk, crawl into the back of my car, pull the trunk, and then climb to the front seat.
Lots of people are going to be watching, and of course everyone's going to be braced over here for any further kind of Oprah-esque bombshell revelations.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposing SMG. Today we will continue talking about Meghan Markle's interview on The Ellen Show. Make sure to watch my first video about this where I address Meghan's lies about growing up poor and struggling with cash. Part of her interview consists of her emphasizing how she couldn't afford to fix her car doors and how she had to climb in through the trunk to get to the driver's seat. The whole story seems quite dramatic and many people don't believe it. So that's what I talked about in that video, along with Meghan saying she grew up on $5 salads and purposely ignoring her privileged life as someone who was in prestigious private schools all throughout her life. I'd also like to mention that the story of her car and climbing through the trunk was a story that she told years ago in a different interview. The words and the mannerisms were almost identical. The entire story seemed rehearsed, with not one discrepancy falling short.
And what I would start to do was literally go to these auditions, park at the back of the parking lot, and then I could open my trunk. For whatever reason, the trunk would still open with the key. Open my trunk and like play it off, like look around and be like, oh, I'm just digging for a headshot or a highlighter. Crawl into the back of my car, pull the trunk, and then climb to the front seat to drive off to my next audition.
What are your thoughts on Meghan retelling this exact story? Unlike the Oprah interview, this interview seemed to focus solely on Meghan and her charming personality without Harry in the picture. It seemed like Meghan was trying to rebrand herself as this down-to-earth, quirky mom who's just here for a good time. Instead of spilling the tea on the royal family the way she did on Oprah, this interview with Ellen focused more on her personality. First off, she mentions that both she and Harry went to a private Halloween party in 2016 before news of them dating became official. They attended this party with Harry's cousin, Princess Eugenie, and her husband, Jack Brooksbank. It was a post-apocalypse theme party, so according to Meghan, nobody recognized them as their costumes disguised them. She said, "The four of us snuck out in Halloween costumes to just have one fun night on the town before it was out in the world that we were a couple. We were able to just sort of have one final fun night out." Meghan was acting like she was signing her rights away and going to prison. One final fun night out? Where were you going at that point? She wasn't even married nor engaged to Harry. And even if she was going off to live in a palace, not in the woods. Anyways, I still get the feeling that Meghan once again wants to emphasize that for her, it was all about the fun and experience of dating Harry as opposed to the attention. Every time she spoke, she always mentioned how she did something super low-key and nobody knew about it to kind of feed the idea that, no, the rumors aren't true, Meghan doesn't care for attention. Whenever she talks, she gives off the vibe that she's trying to prove something to people or rewrite a narrative. We also saw this happening in the Oprah interview when she lied about being married to Harry 3 days before the royal wedding. There, she also emphasized that it was something she wanted for herself and not for the world. I believe she called it a spectacle? Later on in the interview, she talked about her book, The Bench, and basically the interview centered around promoting that book for the most part, and every single person in the audience got a copy. Anyways, she said that the book was originally a poem that she wrote for Harry on Father's Day, and as an observation of him being a dad and how beautiful that was for her. It's always something fake, deep, and poetic with Meghan, isn't it? It's like she's forcing things and trying to turn them into ideas that came naturally. Like, yeah, sure, it was just a poem that came to you one day. That's why many people accused you of plagiarizing The Boy on the Bench by Corinne Averse and Gabriel Albarzo. It shared a very similar theme, and the drawings were quite similar as well. Ellen then asked Meghan what are her plans for Thanksgiving. Meghan said that they will be having Thanksgiving for a second time together in their California home, and that she will be cooking. Ellen asked if she can come, and Meghan said yes. However, we all know that Ellen isn't going anywhere. Then there was this elaborate ruse where Ellen has set up secret cameras and sent Meghan to some food vendors near the Warner Brothers studio. Meghan is wearing an earpiece, and Ellen is in her ear telling her what to do and say. In the skit, Meghan performed strange acts like doing a squat for no reason, touching a crystal to her head and chanting, drinking milk out of a baby bottle, eating like a chipmunk, and singing a fake children's song while wearing animal ears. One of the things that Meghan said during the prank was, "Let mommy taste some. My boo loves hot sauce. Mommy wants some heat." And after a few minutes, Ellen then drove up on a golf cart and told the vendors that it was just a prank. For the most part, the audience seemed to laugh. On the other hand, people thought that it wasn't very royal to be on national TV acting silly. Despite the fact that Meghan shouldn't be using her royal title, she was still introduced as the Duchess of Sussex by Ellen, and as we discussed in my previous videos, this isn't new as Meghan is constantly using her Duchess name despite not doing any of the royal duties. This further makes people believe that she just wants a title, which is something that we all know. Meghan was also criticized for appearing on Ellen because for so long, both she and Harry cried about privacy. And surely appearing on a talk show doesn't fall under being private in my book. The end of the interview ended with Meghan and Ellen highlighting Brittany Starks, a Tennessee mother and hairdresser who gave back after being helped herself through hard times by braiding the hair of school children for free. Since then, she has started a charity called A Twist of Greatness. The show and philanthropy partner Tis Best donated $20,000 to her cause. Meghan and Harry matched it with another $20,000 through their Archwell Foundation. Meghan then gave her a hug and said, "We were so touched by your story." Anyways, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that Meghan doesn't really say much to Ellen. The entire interview just seemed to highlight her glowing personality. Ellen didn't ask her about any of the royal controversies or accusations of racism. Meghan was just accused of perjury in her ongoing court case with the Associated Newspaper Limited, and yet none of that was mentioned. Not a single controversy or event. This leads me to believe that Meghan was on Ellen as part of her image rebranding. Most people who aren't looking into Meghan or doing their own research are probably assuming that everything is just peachy for both her and Harry. They are just innocent royals who fled from the big bad UK and their horrible press. The Daily Beast wrote, "Who was the royal racist? Why had Meghan Markle forgotten to tell a UK court that she said it was fine for her then press chief to brief her sympathetic biographers? What is the current state of the relationships between royal family members?" At the end of today's much-hyped edition of Ellen, we were none the wiser. The generous guest, the Duchess of Sussex herself, instead served up soft-focused stories of her past and ate a tortilla chip in the style of a chipmunk. It's clear that this interview was just an image repair as Meghan wasn't questioned for any of her actions and nothing was addressed. It's almost as if they believe that ignoring the issues on hand will make them go away. Here's another excerpt from the Daily Beast where they write, "The issue of workplace bullying was not raised by either party. Was this completely avoided because Meghan, like Ellen, has been accused of being perhaps not the most sensitive of workplace curators? On the plus side, however, we did learn that Meghan will cook Thanksgiving dinner, Harry enjoys the weather in California, and Archie didn't much like the dinosaur outfit he wore for Halloween." Charming as these revelations were, anyone expecting Meghan's friend and neighbor DeGeneres to deliver some hard-hitting questions to the former royal was likely left disappointed by the Duchess of Sussex interview. What was the purpose of this interview? Other than an opportunity for Meghan to be cheered to the rafters, it was rather hard to tell. Meghan and Harry have made endless complaints about the unfairness of the press coverage they typically receive. The Ellen interview suggests an exciting new mode of Sussex media management. Don't allow questions from anyone other than a confirmed lickspittle. I couldn't have said it better myself. The interview was hyped up to tell us nothing, and as I already stated, it seems like it was just there as an image repair. However, I don't think anything will repair Meghan's image as she still has a lot to answer for. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy Meghan on Ellen, or did you not see the purpose of the interview? Did she charm you like she charmed the audience? Were the skits funny? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content every week, and check out our Prince Harry and Meghan Markle playlist for more. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.